Hey guys, welcome back to the second video in our 4-video series in which we're covering how to solve Suguru in Python. So I've changed up the video a little bit today. Today you guys actually get to see my face. I'm going to be recording myself and just include it in the video. And if the quality is a little bit subpar, it's probably because of the fact that I'm recording myself off of my iPhone 8. Which doesn't have the latest technology. Probably the audio might be a little bad, but anyways, let's actually get started now. So the approach we're going to use to solve Suguru is called recursive backtracking. And I've defined a list of 5 steps. It's a pretty simple process to follow, but let's actually get started. So the first thing we want to do is start our iteration from the first empty block. So you can see the first empty block is here. And we want to iterate from 1 all the way to the number of blocks within this group. So our group is right here, and as you can see there's 5 blocks in there, so we're going to be iterating from 1 to 5. Now for a number to work and for us to move on, it needs to be not touching the same number vertically, horizontally 1 block, and it cannot be already present in the group. So in this case, because 1's already present in the group, we can't use 1, and because 5 would be touching horizontally, we couldn't use 5, but 5 is also in the group already, so we couldn't use 5 anyways. So I hope that makes sense. Let's begin our iteration from 1. Alright, so we say 1. 1 will not work because it's already in the group. So now we're going to try 2. 2 works. So let's move on. We already have a number here, so we can skip this one. And then we're going to begin our iteration from 1 again. So 1 does not work because it's already in the group and it's touching it horizontally. So we can try 2, but 2 doesn't work because it's already in the group. We can use 3. Alright, skip this one. Now we're here. So we can try 1, but 1 will not work because it's touching horizontally. 2 will work for this block. We can use 1 because it's not touching and it's not in the group. Alright, now we're going to move on to the next row. So for this one, we can use 1. It's not present in the group already, and it's not touching horizontally or vertically, another 1. Okay, we skip the 3 because there's already a 3 there. And we can actually use 1 right here. Alright, for this one, we cannot use 1 because it would be touching horizontally, vertically, and it's already in the group. So we would have to use, we could try 2, but 2 is already in the group, so we can't use 2. We can't use 3, it's already in the group. We can use 4. I hope this process is starting to make a little bit of sense. Okay, next block. So for this one, we can't use 1 because it's already in the group. We can't use 2 because it's already in the group, but we can use 3. Next row. We can't use 1 because it's touching horizontally, already in the group. We can use 2. For this one, we can't use 1 because it's already in the group. We can't use 2 because it's touching it horizontally. We can't use 3 because it's touching it vertically. We can't use 4 because it's already in the group, but we can use 5. Skipping the 4. We can't use 1 because it's already in the group. We can't use, or sorry, we can use 2. There we go, perfect. This one we can use 1. This one we already have a 1, we already have a 2, we already have a 3, we already have a 4, so we must use 5. Alright, next row. So we can't use 1 because it's already present in the group. We can't use 2 because it's touching it vertically. We can't use 3 because it's in the group. We can use 4. This block is just by itself, so we can use 1 right here. And then we already have, we can't use 1, we can't use 2, we can use 3. For this one, 1 would not work, it's already present in the group. We cannot use 2 because it would be touching it vertically. We cannot use 3 because it would be touching it horizontally. We cannot use 4 because it would be touching it vertically also. But we can use 5. 1 wouldn't work right here, but 2 would work. 3 would work here. We can't use 1, we can't use 2, we can't use 3, we can't use 4, but we can use 5. Can't use 1, can use 2. Can't use 3. Sorry, we can use 1 right here. Start off at 1. Okay. This case. So we can't use 1 because it's already in the group. We can't use 2 because it's already in the group. We can't use 3 because it's already in the group. We can't use 4 because we're touching it horizontally. And we can't use 5 because it's already in the group. So you can see we've exhausted our options. So this is when we move on to the next step. Okay. So once we've exhausted all the numbers from 1 to n, we go back to the previous block and we continue iteration from where we left off. So in this case, the previous block is this 1 right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to continue iteration from when we left off. We left off at 1, so next we can try 2. 2 doesn't work. 3 doesn't work because it's touching it vertically. 4 doesn't work because it's already in the group. We can try 5, and 5 works great. Okay, so now we can go back to this block, but we're kind of in the same situation. Changing that to 5 didn't really do anything. So what we do, we would try to iterate through all these numbers again. So we'd try 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'd see that nothing would work, and then we'd go back and redo that. We'd take a step back again. So when we take a step back again to this 5 right here, we're going to continue iteration at 5. But we don't have any numbers to iterate, right? 5 is the max for this group. So we're actually going to take another step back. We're going to backtrack. And we're going to continue iteration from 2. So the next number that works would be 3. Right? 3 is not in the group. It's not touching horizontally or vertically. Okay, so now we can continue iteration from right here. So we can try 1. That 1 would work. We can go back here. And we would see that we're kind of in the same situation again. We can try all the numbers, but none of them are going to work. Only once we backtrack far enough can we actually build a solution. So I hope you guys kind of understand this process. Eventually, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it might take a long time. And this is pretty simple stuff, I think. But you can see that eventually we would get to the point where either we backtrack far enough and we've exhausted all the options that there is no solution. Or we will eventually get to a point where we've built a solution by backtracking and moving forward again. So that's all I have for you guys, pretty short and simple. In the next video, we're actually going to be coding this algorithm. So I hope you guys stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed the face cam. It's a little more personal. But thank you for your time. Remember to keep programming. See you guys.